Assalamu alaikum, hello everyone, welcome back, karibuni, kusuduwada to another Saturday. So today we are going to talk about job interview, job search, how to land your first job as a graduate. Whether it's graduating from undergrad or graduate school, specifically for those people graduating from PA school. I will be sharing with you guys some tips that helped me along the way, how to get that interview first, and then how to score the job once you get the interview is what we're going to go over today. So you graduated, you're ready to apply. What are the things that you need? The first thing you need is a resume. You need to have a resume listing all your qualifications, all your experiences, dated from the most recent ones at the top and then going back a couple of years. You don't want to put information from 10-15 years ago unless it's super relevant. I would say just limit it to what you've done in the past 5 years. Usually employers would want to know any job or any experience that you've had within the past 5 years. I wouldn't go past that, especially because your resume should not be more than a page and a half. If you have a lot more information that you want to write, you can have a curriculum vitae, a CV, and that can be up to 3 to 4 pages, and you can put as much information as you want. But really, you just want to have a good resume. For me, to be honest with you, I have never had a CV. I never wrote a CV, I think. I was able to get by with just my resume. That means your resume has to be really good. Once you have your resume ready, you want to have every certification or license that is applicable to your job printed out, ready, and in a folder. All your documents, including your resume, make at least 4 to 5 copies of your resume so that when you're going to that interview, you can just hand copies to people and you're not the only one with the resume, or just you and one other person and the rest of the people are just like staring at you. So get copies ready for them. I would say at least 5 copies of your resume along with copies of your documentations. So once you have that ready, you should apply to as many jobs as possible. I cannot emphasize on this. People apply to 4 or 5 jobs and then they just wait and they get disappointed when they don't hear back. Honestly, I can't even count how many jobs I applied to when I graduated from PA school. I would say easy 50. Like literally every day I would wake up and I'll apply to 3 or 4 jobs. And one thing I'll tell you guys is some of the jobs will tell you we need people that have 3 years experience, 5 years experience, 1 year experience in this field. Say you're applying to a dermatology job. They would say we need an experienced person that has 3 to 5 years of experience in blah 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 blah. Apply to everything. You see a job, you just graduated from PA school, you see a job posting for a PA, it doesn't matter if they say we need 10 years of experience, apply. Honestly, you never know. Like the job that I got that I'm working at right now, it didn't say anything about new grads. I think it said that it needed somebody with experience. I'm trying to think. But most of the jobs that I applied to said that they needed people with experience. And I heard back from a lot of the jobs that said they specifically needed somebody with 3 to 5 years experience, and I got interviewed. So you never know. Shoot your shot everywhere. If you don't apply, the answer is always going to be a no. So apply. Don't get tired. It's going to get exhausting and it's going to get frustrating, but seriously, you have to apply. If you need a job, don't get lazy, apply. So now you have applied to the job and you heard back. So what do? I will say some people, what they do is they do a phone screening where they call you, they know a little bit more about you, they tell you we have this many applicants or we have a lot of applicants and we're just trying to do the initial screening and just wait to hear back from us for a formal interview. What I will tell you is whenever you get that call, honestly, treat it like the actual interview. From them talking to you, you want to make sure that, oh, this is the person that we want. And for me, I always said, like, I just need somebody to talk to me. Like, once I get past that screening and somebody talks to me, I'm like, that job is going to be mine because I am going to sell myself really good. And how do you sell yourself? Some people it's natural, it just comes to them, it's who they are, they're smooth like butter, and they can, you know, talk themselves through anything. For some people, there's a little bit of a struggle to, you know, present themselves, even if with the right qualifications, and it's really hard for them to get out of their shell, to put themselves out there and to sell themselves. The anxiety could be holding them back. They're just really shy people. And honestly, to those people, what I would say is, when you apply to a job, make sure you research that job. It ties to this, and it was going to be my next step, so I'll just slide it in here. If you research the job itself, you research the company, you research the people that are working in that company. If you're a PA, you research the doctors that work there, the PAs that work there. The companies, usually they have a website. What I did was I went to the website and I read up on everybody, where they studied, what they did before, you know, this particular job that they're working at right now. What were they involved in? Like anything that was put on that website, I took notes. Some people would put, you know, like their qualifications, their education, and then what they do for fun. Try to see if there's something that they do or that they mentioned that you actually do as well. Whether it's, oh, they studied in this location, I have been to that location before, like I can talk about this. Or, oh, they like going horseback riding, I like to jump horses. You know, like finding that common ground kind of helps you communicate better, and like makes you realize that these people are not really that different from you, and you can actually have a decent conversation with them. So really, that initial phone interview, the screening interview, make sure you are like, whoa, this person, I want to interview them. What I did is, like, I would be so honest in those phone interviews. Like I would be 100% honest. The last thing that you want to do is lie your way through the interview only to be hired and realize that, oh my god, I don't even have the skill, and what am I going to do now? It's going to look so bad on you. So really be super honest, even in the from the initial, you know, like the phone screening to the actual interview. Be super honest. Now let's transition into, you are at the interview, like you're going to your interview, let's say tomorrow. Like what should you do? I would say, again, if you didn't get a phone screening, still research the company, look up the company, know what they're about. You want to work for a place that you really feel connected to. You don't want to work for a company that has different values than you. So making sure that this is a place that you really want to work is going to help you in the interview itself, because your confidence and the way you present yourself when you're really interested in something is so different from faking your way through a place that you really don't want to be, but you're just needed for that particular moment, and you're hoping to get out of it in a few years or even months. So make sure you read up on the company, is what I'm trying to say, and read up on the person. During the interview day, dress nicely. I cannot emphasize on that. I talk about dressing nicely for your school interview. Job interview is the same. Make sure you are presentable, you're clean, and you're put together. Smile. As soon as you walk through the door, smile at everybody. Smile at the front desk people, smile at the people that are working there, even from, you know, if it's a janitor, if it's whoever it is. Be friendly, be inviting person. Nobody wants to hire a grumpy, angry person. I for sure would not want to work with somebody that was grumpy. So make sure you're nice and you're kind and you're open-minded and you're smiling. At the interview itself, shake hands. COVID is done now, so shake hands. Well, I'm speaking into existence. Still not done. You still need to wear your mask at some places, but in most places now they're not wearing masks and the restrictions are a little bit less. So what I'm trying to say is, look confident, look at them in the eyes, shake hands if needed, be, you know, open, be smiling, be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, honestly, fake it. How are they gonna know? They don't know you. It's the first time they've seen you. So pretend and act like you're confident. I am telling you, I'm talking to you. Shoulders back, head up straight, smile, look at them in the eye, act like you know what you're doing and what you're talking about. Hey, once you're in there, they can train you, so it doesn't really matter if you 100% don't know of, I mean, you don't really need to know everything. You're a new graduate, people know that they need to train you. So Be super friendly, be super confident, right? They are going to ask you questions. As soon as you get there, open your folder, give them the resumes. Sometimes they have 4 people, sometimes they have 5 people. Give them the resumes, give them a copy of, you know, your license or your a certification that you've had. What I did for me is like I clipped together like a resume and any other form that I had. I will clip together and I'll have like 5 copies of each and then just present, and they have everything. And then one for me, obviously, as they're looking at it, I want to look at mine too. And make sure you know your resume. Obviously, that's all the things that you did. Just kind of refresh yourself if you've forgotten some of the things that you did in your previous job. Just refresh your mind in case, you know, some of the points are super applicable and you want to present it. So that being said, now they're talking to you, they're asking you, tell me about yourself. With any other interview, the first question is almost always, tell me about yourself. So make sure you know yourself well. This question is really hard for a lot of people. Like, it's so hard to talk about yourself. When somebody says, tell me about yourselves, or tell me about yourself, they are not talking about what you did in your childhood or what your pet ate for breakfast this morning. No, they want to know things about you that's applicable to this job. As a PA, for me, when I was applying to, you know, when I got interviewed for the job that I have right now, it's spine surgery, and the doctors that I work with are ortho spine surgeons. So when I was telling them about myself, it went something along this line. My name is Ferdosa. I went to this school. I got my PA and MPH, you know, last year. And because the job I'm applying to is spine surgery, so I have to mention the surgery that I did and what rotation that was applicable to this particular job, right? So I had to mention that I did ortho surgery, it was trauma surgery, the long hours that I worked, how I enjoyed the surgery itself. I had to talk about how I did an elective surgery because I loved surgery so much, and I did vascular, and really like show them that this is a place that I want to be, this is a field that I want to be in. And because I looked up the doctors and I read up on them and I read up on the PA, you know, I had things to talk about. I'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that you did this and I did this too, and then we would start like a conversation from there. Like one of the doctors, his wife did like a mission trip to East Africa and Uganda, and I did a field study in Uganda. So there was like that common ground. So really putting things on your resume can also, you know, for them too, when they're looking at your resume, they can be like, oh, this person did this and I did this too, and then they can bring it up, and that can just keep the conversation going. Please, 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 please do not lie. Like, that's one thing. Do not lie. If you don't know something, say you don't know something. If you don't have a qualification for something, say you don't have a qualification for something. You do not get hired under a false pretense. What I was asked during my interview was if I had, you know, if I knew dermatomes and myotomes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is a spine surgery. This is working with nerves. This is a job that requires you to know your dermatomes and your myotomes left and right. But I did not know. So when I got interviewed, the PA that interviewed me asked me, like, do you know, dermatomes and myotomes? And I told her, I don't. I remember them from school. I learned it in PA school. I studied for the exam and I forgot all about it. But I will learn. If I am given the opportunity to work for you, I will put in the time to learn things, and I will make sure, I am up to speed. I am willing to learn and I am teachable. So yes, I don't know it right now, but I will know it in, I am a quick learner and I'll put in the work. So she was, I was at that point, I was like, if she doesn't hire me, it's fine, because I was super honest. And I made my intentions clear. I will learn. Just give me the chance, give me the opportunity. And honestly, like, I got hired and she sent me resources. When I got hired, she was like, here is books that you can read. Here's the website, use letters. These are the things that can help you, and like literally all the resources that I could use. And I was studying every weekend and every opportunity that I got, to the point where now I'm like you say something and I'm like, oh, it's coming from that nerve. Like, it comes to me, you know, with my experience now working and with my studying and putting in the time. Now I know. So, which is why I tell you, if you don't know something, it should not stop you from applying. You should still apply. But when they interview you, tell them, I am new, I don't know this. Would you teach me? Because I am willing to put in the time. And the other thing that I will tell you guys is, as a new graduate, you don't know anything. Let's be serious. It's basically a student that is getting paid, because you're gonna be learning on the job. You should ask your employers, the person that's going to hire you, when they ask you all their questions, tell them, I have some questions too. Now, write this down if you have to. For PAs, for new graduate PAs, this is specifically for you guys. It can apply to other jobs too, but for PAs specifically, write this down if you have to. You wanna know, A, as a new graduate, are they going to train you? Have they trained students before? Do they know how to train students? You have to ask them, because you don't want to work for somebody that's just going to throw you in and you don't know what you're doing. You are going to drown. You need a supportive employer. So ask them, I am a new graduate. Would I get training? How long is that training? Are they going to give you 1 week of shadowing and training and then that's it? Or are they going to give you 3 months of training where you have your supervising doc nearby or access to, and if you have any question, there's somebody right there for you and to help you and to guide you. Know the length of the training period. How many patients am I going to see? At the beginning, at 3 months, and then at 6 months. What is the patient load? You don't want to be a new graduate and then the first day of work you have 20 patients. Like, that is just crazy. That's a lot of patients to see when you yourself don't know anything. For me, what my job did is, if everybody gets that lucky, honestly, it's going to be, I feel like the world will be a better place, to be honest. For me, my supervising doctor was, you know, somebody that has trained residents and he knew how to teach. And the other doctor, so I work with 2 surgeons and a PA. And when I was getting interviewed, like, I told them I don't have spine experience. I've done orthopedic surgery rotation, but I don't have spine experience. And he, you know, one of the doctors was like, we will train you. We know how to train students, so don't worry about that. We'll train you well. And that was comforting to me, because I was like, A, they knew I'm a new graduate. B, they know how to train. And C, they're offering to train me. So that was really good. So my first day, I just shadowed. Like, the first week, it was just shadowing. They slowly, you know, moved me into the work. It wasn't like, here's your 20 patients, go see them. I honestly remember when I was going to see my first patient, I looked at my boss and I was like, I think I'm gonna pass out. And he was like, you won't pass out. Go in there and ask them A, B, C, D. If they say A, tell them this. If they say B, tell them this. And if they say C, tell them this. Honestly, I went in there and I repeated verbatim what he said. And that is like, where are you gonna get stuff like that, right? Like, I just got so lucky, I think. But again, I asked during the interview itself, like, I don't know much, I'm a new graduate, will you train me? And they were honest about their response that they will train me. So you wanna make sure that happens for you. Be honest with your questions and be explicit about what you went through in the interview. So we said to ask them the length of the training, how many patients, what the patient load is, right? The next thing you should ask is, if your supervisor is not on site, do you have access to them? And how much access do you have? Do they want you to just contact your supervisor once a week, once per day, once per month, or is it any time that you have a question? Granted, you don't want to be that person that is texting or calling your supervisor every minute or for every patient, but you want to know that if needed, you have somebody there. So pay, honestly, I'm not even gonna, this is going to be a topic for another video. The pay itself, it's really hard. Like for me, everybody's different. Some people are driven by money and some people are driven by something else. For me, for my first job, my driver was I needed somebody that will train me, that will take me in as a student and train me and give me a pay that would sustain me. That being said, for me, what I am making, I am happy with it right now. Eventually, of course, I'll ask for a raise and I'll make a video about negotiating and all of that. I still don't know. I'm not expert at it. I don't want to talk about something I haven't really mastered yet. When I get to that point, I'll talk about that. But you could ask them. You can ask them what the pay is. You want a pay that will sustain you, obviously. You can ask them the benefit. Like, what are your benefits? Are you getting health? Are you getting dental? Are you getting, vision? Are you getting your CMEs paid for? Are they paying for the travel fee? Are they reimbursing you for the license fee? Are they reimbursing you for the DEA fee? Like, ask them all of that. Say the job pay is not the best, but they're giving you all these not privileges, they're giving you all these benefits and they're willing to train you. Hey, I would say go for it, because you're not gonna find a location that would give you everything. Maybe you're that one lucky person that gets it all, but mostly you won't get the best pay and the best training and the best why do I keep saying privileges, and the best benefits. So make sure you're getting at least one of those. Most importantly, you're getting people that are willing to train you and teach you as a new graduate. Okay, so those are the questions that you can ask them. If if the people that are interviewing are just the doctors and the PA is not there, ask them if they have a PA that works for the company. Ask them if you can shadow the PA before you start working for them or before you accept the job offer. Don't accept like the first offer that comes to you. Make sure you compare your offers and go with the one that really truly gives you what you're looking for. One other thing that I'll mention is make sure you shadow the PA. If they have a PA that works there, shadow them. You want to see what their day-to-day looks like. You want to see what their patient load looks like. You want to see if it's an environment that you can thrive in, not an environment that swallows you and you drown. You don't want to burn out within months of your first job. Honestly, that will just make you hate your profession. At the beginning, it should be baby steps and really enjoying the process and having time to absorb things and to learn things, and not a time where things are just shoved at you and see ya, you're on your own. That being said, those are the tips that I have for you today. I hope they are helpful and I hope they are beneficial to you. Like always, if you have something you want me to talk about, go ahead and comment below. I will look at it. I always love reading your comments and taking your suggestions. If you have any suggestion for me, by all means, I would love to hear about it. Of course, be respectful. Don't be attacking your girl. But seriously though, in all honesty, I really appreciate you guys for all your support and for taking the time to sit down and listen to my videos. I appreciate you guys. I will see you again next Saturday, and I will talk about jobs that I did when I was a PA student working as a PA. So stay tuned, especially for the people that are starting PA school now, that are in their first semesters. That video is going to be super helpful to you guys. And for any other person that is going to college, whether it's undergrad or graduate school, working as a student on campus or off campus, I'll be talking about that in my next video. See you guys until next time. Bye, take care, good luck. You're gonna get that job, so stay confident, stay awesome, go get that job.